Datta, Sri Guru Datta.
Jai Guru 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 Datta, Sri Guru Datta.
Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyay Namaha, Shri Padavallabha Narasimha Saraswati, Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Shri Ganapati Satchidananda Sadgurubhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Guru Datta and welcome to Datta Arpanam with your hosts Rishi Nirvan Barup
and Ravita Singh. Jai Guru Datta, Swagatam, and thank you for tuning in to Datta Arpanam, a showcase of the life, music, and teachings of His Holiness Paramapujya Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji of Avadhuta Dattapitam in Mysuru. Today's program begins with the offering of pranams, gratitude, and this invocation prayer at the sacred feet of beloved Sadgurudeva Pujya Shri Swamiji, as this show, possible only through His divine grace, is offered to him. Please join Pujya Shri 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 Datta Vijayananda Tirtha Swamiji now in worship.
श्री गणेशाय नमः, श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः, श्री पादवल्लभ नरसिंह सरस्वती, श्री गुरुदत्तात्रेयाय नमः, श्री गणपति सच्चिदानंद सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः, गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म, तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्रीभूयुत श्रीहरिचिह्निताभ्याम् अगस्त्यरेखादिभिरञ्चिताभ्याम् निगूढबीजाक्षरमुद्रिताभ्याम् नमो नमः सद्गुरुपादुकाभ्याम्। गणपति गुरुमेकं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं, विबुधनिवहसेव्यं योगमार्गाधिरूढं, शरणमुपगतानामार्तिसङ्घाद्रिवज्रं मम हृदयनिवासं भक्तिनम्रो नमामि, भक्तिनम्रो नमामि।
Once again, everyone, Swagatam, and thank you for tuning in to this morning's edition of Datta Arpanam. Today's program is being brought to you through the kind courtesy of Ramlal Educational Institute of number 12 Exchange Lots Couver, Valini's Drug Mart Limited of 58 to 60 Sutton Street, San Fernando, Debe Supermart Limited of 182 SS Erin Road, Debe, and Koke Supermart Limited of 14 Naparima Mayaro Road, San Fernando.
Last week on Datta Arpanam, as the Dasha Avatara series continued, you heard that Lord Sri Hari incarnated as the son of Kashyapa Maharishi and Mother Aditi, parents of the Devatas. That Lord immediately took on a dwarf form, and, ever mindful of the reason for taking this form, he headed to the banks of the Narmada River, where the demon king Bali, who had ousted Indra and the Devatas from heaven, was performing an Ashwamedha Yagam.
Today, the story of Lord Sri Hari's incarnation as Vamana continues. But first, let us all join together in worshipping Lord Ganapati through bhajan. Please open the Bhajanmala app or visit the website www.bhajanmala.com. Enter bhajan ID number 65 and join in worshipping, as the bhajan says, the apple of Lord Shiva's eye, the handsome son of Lord Shiva, Lord Ganapati.
Ganapati Raja Palimparada Suguna Vallava Hara Hara Nagana.
Ganapati Raja Palimparada Suguna Vallava Hara Hara Nayana.
Ganapati Raja Palimparada Vallava Hara Hara Nayana.
Ganapati Raja Palimparada Suguna Vallava Hara Hara Nayana.
Vidura Ekadanta
Triguna Vidura Ekadanta.
Triguna Vidura Ekadanta.
Triguna Vidura Ekadanta.
Mushika Vahana Munijana Vanga.
Mushika Vahana Munijana Vanga.
Mushika Vahana Munijana Vanga.
Mushika Vahana Munijana Vanga.
Ganapati Raja Palimparada Suguna Vallava Hara Hara Nayana.
Ganapati Raja Palimparada Suguna Vallava Hara Nayana.
Arasuta Sundar Dinabandhu.
Arasuta Sundara Dinabandhu.
Arasuta Sundar Dinabandhu.
Arasuta Sundara Dinabandhu.
Dinadata Daya Sindhu.
Dinadata Daya Sindhu.
Dinadata Daya Sindhu.
Dinadata Daya Sindhu.
Ganapati Raja Palimparada Suguna Vallava Hara Hara Nayana.
Ganapati Raja Palimparada Suguna Vallava Hara Nayana.
Sachidananda Nigama Samstuta.
Sachidananda Nigama Samstuta.
Sachidananda Nigama Samstuta.
Sachidananda Nigama Samstuta.
Sachidananda Nirupama Charita.
సచ్చిదానంద నిరుపమ చరిత
సచ్చిదానంద నిరుపమ చరిత
సచ్చిదానంద నిరుపమ చరిత
గణపతి రాజ పాలింపరాద సుగుణ వల్లభ హర హర నయన
గణపతి రాజా పాలింపరాద
వల్లభ
నయన
సుగుణ వల్లభ హర హర నయన
గుణ
హర హర నయన హర హర నయన హర నయన.
What a beautiful way to get today's program started. That divine bhajan glorifying Lord Ganapati was composed and rendered by that Lord's namesake and disciple, Paramapujya Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji. You are tuned in to Datta Arpanam, a showcase of the life, music and teachings of Pujya Shri Swamiji. Thank you for tuning in to today's offering, which is coming to you on 103.1 FM through the grace of Pujya Shri Swamiji, and thanks to the sponsorship by Valini's Drug Mart Limited, Ramlal Educational Institute, Debe Supermart Limited, and Kokie Supermart Limited.
Today, as we prepare to continue the story of Lord Vamana, you are invited to join in worshipping Naranarayana Maharishis, Goddess Saraswati, and Sage Vyasa. Narayanam Namaskritya Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayeta.
When Lord Vamana, radiating brilliance, entered into the arena, everyone stood to greet the young and glowing brahmachari. King Bali himself was no exception. He heartily welcomed Lord Vamana and offered obeisance to him.
What can I do for you? Asked Bali. Your arrival here today has made all our forefathers happy. Our lineage has been rendered pure, and this yajna of mine is now successful because of your arrival.
Bali continued addressing Vamana, saying, O young Brahmin, all my sins have been completely destroyed by using the water that washed your feet to sprinkle upon my head. This homa has been rendered fruitful. By the touch of your tiny, tender feet, Mother Earth has been rendered totally pure.
After praising Vamana in this way, Bali once again asked him to tell him what he wanted. I will fulfill your desire, said the grandson of Prahalada. You can happily take my cows, gold, a home fully furnished with all comforts, a sumptuous meal accompanied by a tasty drink, flourishing villages, horses, elephants, or any other object of your choice. If you want, I will get you married to a suitable Brahmin girl.
And listeners, while Bali's words were spoken with love and reverence to the Lord, it is important that we take a moment here to remind ourselves that anything we have is a gift from God or Guru. Bali offered cows, gold, animals, etc., but he never would have even had these to offer had the Lord not first gifted him with them. And in this we learn another lesson. It is a lesson reflected in the words of Sri Krishna when in Shloka 12 of chapter 3 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita he said,
Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha dasyante yajna bhavitaha terdattana pradayebhyaha yo bhunkte stena eva saha. In this shloka, Sri Krishna said to Arjuna that when deities receive worship through sacrificial rites, they grant comforts and fulfill wishes. But the Shastras declare that those who do not reciprocate by sharing their gifts with God, such persons are sinners.
Hearing Bali speak with such love and with such a giving heart, the Supreme Lord, who had incarnated as Vamana, was immensely pleased. He applauded Bali for speaking such loving and truthful words which adhered to the rules of righteousness. The words then uttered by the Lord were spoken to Bali, but they are words laden with lessons for us all.
In your lineage, said Vamana to Bali, no one has ever gone back on his promise. Misers who have never given in charity to Vedic Brahmin scholars have never been born in your lineage. While giving charity and while a person is actually seeking alms or while a person is begging, the one giving the donation should never turn his face away. Such a miser does not exist in your family, said the Lord. Kings who turn their back to wars have never taken birth in your lineage.
Vamana, that dwarf incarnation of Lord Sri Hari, continued to address King Bali, saying, Prahlada's son, your father, Virochana, held Vedic Brahmins in high esteem. Once the Devatas disguised themselves as Vedic Brahmins and approached Virochana, begging for the balance of his lifespan. Virochana was very much aware that the Devatas had approached him in the guise of Brahmins. Still, he gifted all of his remaining lifespan to them.
You, said Lord Vamana to Bali, you have abided by all the dharmas which were followed by your forefathers and by the Vedic Brahmins. O Demon King, you are the best among those who engage in charities. Therefore, from you I seek only 3 feet of land, measurable by my footsteps. Please grant me this land. Since the sin called accepting gifts, which is known as Patigraha Dosha, since such sin does not accrue to the intelligent person who accepts only as much as he needs, there is nothing else I seek from you. I only ask for 3 feet of land.
Listeners, the Lord could have simply said to Bali, I want 3 feet of land. But by taking the time to speak as he did, he has taught us so many lessons. May the Goddess of Learning, Goddess Saraswati, bless us with the capacity to always recall these lessons. May that Goddess of Speech bless us so that, like the Lord, our speech will always benefit others. As such a prayer is offered to Mother Saraswati, let us join in worshipping her through Nama Sankirtanam. Please open the Bhajan Mala app or website to Bhajan ID number 2139 and join in this musical offering.
Sadhara Saraswati Giram Devata Brahmani Bhamati Sadhara Saraswati Giram Devata Brahmani Bhamati
Sadhara Saraswati Giram Devata Brahmani Bhavati
Brahmani Bhamati Brahmani Bhamati Sadhara Saraswati Giram Devata Brahmani Bhamati Sadhara Saraswati Giram
Devata Brahmani Bhavati
Brahmani Bhamati Brahmani Bhamati Varohanam Nava Kshetre Daho Vrane Varohanam Nava Kshetre Daho Vrane Kshetre Daho Vrane Bhuyada Vekitasya Mematim Nityadi Devate Bhuyada Vekitasya Mematim Nityedi Devate Bhuyada Vekitasya Mematim नित्यधिदेवते भूयादवेशितास्य मे मतिं नित्यधिदेवते सादर सरस्वती गिरा देवता ब्रह्माणि भामती सादरा सरस्वती गिरा
देवता ब्रह्माणि भावति
ब्रह्माणि भामती ब्रह्माणि भामती ऐं बीजवासिनी सद्विद्यादायिनी
ऐबीजवासिनि सद्विद्यादायिनि
ऐं बीजवासिनी सद्विद्यादायिनी
ऐबीजवासिनि सद्विद्यादायिनि
सर्वाधारासि देवी देशिका सच्चिदानन्दिनी सर्वाधारासि देवी देशिका सच्चिदानन्दिनी सर्वाधारासि देवी देशिका सच्चिदानन्दिनी सर्वाधारासि देवी देशिका
चिदानन्दिनि
सादरा सरस्वती गिरा
देवता
ब्रह्माणि भामती सादरा सरस्वती गिरा
देवता
ब्रह्माणि भामती सादरा सरस्वती गिरा देवता ब्रह्माणि भामती
सादरा सरस्वती
गिरा
देवता ब्रह्माणि भावति
ब्रह्माणि भामती ब्रह्माणि भामती वारोहनं नव क्षेत्रे दापूरणे वारोहनं नव क्षेत्रे दाहोरणे क्षेत्रे दाहोरणे भूयादवेसितास्य मे मतिं नित्यधिदेवते भूयादवेसितास्य मे मतिं नित्यधिदेवते भूयादवेसितास्य मे मतिं नित्यधिदेवते भूयादवेसितास्य मे मतिं नित्यधिदेवते सरस्वती गिरा देवता ब्रह्माणि भामती
सरस्वती गिरा देवता ब्रह्माणि भावति
ऐं बीजवासिनी सद्विद्यादायिनी
ऐबीजवासिनि सद्विद्यादायिनि
ऐं बीजवासिनी सद्विद्यादायिनी
ऐबीजवासिनि
सद्विद्यादायिनी सर्वाधारासि देवी देशिका सच्चिदानन्दिनी सर्वाधारासि देवी देशिका
चिदानन्दिनि
सर्वाधारासि देवी देशिका सच्चिदानन्दिनी सर्वाधारासि देवी
शिखा सच्चिदानन्दिनि सादरा सरस्वती गिरा
गिरां
देवता ब्रह्माणि भावति सादरा सरस्वती गिरा देवता ब्रह्माणि भावति
ब्रह्माणि भामती ब्रह्माणि भामती हरे ब्रह्माणि भामती ब्रह्माणि भामती
Some bhajans are simply too exquisite to adequately describe. That bhajan is one of them. It may be said week after week on Datta Arpanam, but each week it is as true as the week before. The bhajan compositions of Parama Pujya Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji truly are Vedanta in the form of song.
You were just listening to Pujya Sri Swamiji here on Datta Arpanam. Thank you for tuning in to today's offering, which is coming to you on 103.1 FM through the grace of Pujya Sri Swamiji, and thanks to the sponsorship by Ramlal Educational Institute, Debe Supermart Limited, Valini's Drug Mart Limited, and Koke Supermart Limited.
Before that bhajan, you heard that Lord Vamana, speaking in a way that teaches us all about righteous conduct, Lord Vamana praised the lineage into which King Bali was born, and then, in response to that king's question to ask for that which he wanted, Lord Vamana asked for 3 feet of land, where each foot would be measured by one of his footsteps.
Now remember, the form the Lord had assumed on this occasion was the form of a dwarf. His legs were short and his body was perfectly proportioned, so to Bali, this request must have seemed to be so very little.
Bali, addressing the dwarf Vamana, replied by saying, "O Brahmin boy, because you are young, you speak like an ignorant person. From what you have said, it is evident that you do not take even the slightest interest in self-gain. I am pleased with what you have asked. I am the Lord of all the 3 worlds, though. I can give you ownership over even a large island. So, seeking only 3 feet of land indicates your ignorance." "O Brahmachari," said Bali to Lord Vamana, "one who begs from me should never ever have to beg again in his life. So please accept from me as much land as is needed for your livelihood."
And listeners, see here the qualities which both the beggar and the donor should possess. Lord Vamana asked for only enough as he needs, while Bali, knowing he was capable of giving more, offered more when he thought that the Brahmin child before him, out of ignorance, did not ask for enough. Lord Vamana's wording teaches us that we should never be greedy. We should never want something just because others have it. We should aim to live a comfortable life as opposed to an extravagant life. When we live in this way, life becomes more peaceful.
Bali's words, by displaying generosity, also teach us that greed or selfishness is not a noble quality. When you have, share. The punya or spiritual merit you earn when you engage in charity or dhanam is punya which helps to ensure that you too continue to receive. But be careful that you do not give with the mindset of, "If I give, I will get." Then that charity becomes binding. It binds you to the cycle of life and death. Give out of gratitude. Give with the mindset that God has given to you, so you are sharing those gifts with others. Give as an offering to Him.
And when giving, mentally give in the name of Pujya Sri Swamiji. Appaji has said that when we do this, if by chance the person to whom the donation was made was not one worthy of that donation, like say they will use the money to engage in illicit activities, for example, but if you give in Pujya Appaji's name, then any sin associated with giving to someone undeserving does not fall on you.
When King Bali generously told Lord Vamana to ask for as much land as was required, Lord Vamana said, "O Emperor, the person who lacks control over his senses will always be dissatisfied even if all his favorite objects of comfort are given to him. Even collectively, all those things which he likes will fail to satisfy his desires. A person who is not content with getting 3 feet of land will continue to be discontented even if he is given the lordship over the entire Jambudvipa, which consists of 9 countries. This is because when he gets control over one continent, the desire to own all other continents will arise in him.
And again, the words of Sri Krishna come to mind when, in shlokas 37 to 41 of chapter 3 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, he says, Kama esha krodha eshaha rajo guna samudbhavaha mahashano mahapapma vidhyena miha vairinam dhumena vriyate vanhihi yatha darsho malena cha yatholbena vrato garbhaha tata tenedamavratam avratam jnanametena jnanino nityavairina kamarupena kaunteya dushpurena nalena cha indriyani mano buddhihi asyadhishtanamuchyate etarvimohayatyeshaha jnanamavritya dehinam tasmat tvamindriyanyadau niyamya bharatarshabha papmanam prajahihyenam jnana vijnana nashanam. In the first of those shlokas, so shloka 37 of chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna said to Arjuna that lust is the greatest enemy. Vidhe namiha vairinam. This enemy is inside you. It is an internal one. Mahashano. It has a great appetite. It is never satiated. Because of these two things, that enemy known as lust is difficult to conquer.
And what happens if lust or desire is not conquered? Well, before we hear the answer to that question, let us offer worship to the one with whose grace any enemy, internal or external, can be conquered. Let us worship the Trinity of Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva as we join in this bhajan glorifying Lord Dattatreya. Let us pray, as the bhajan says, that Lord Datta will destroy our infatuations and temptations.
Jai Guru Datta, Sri Guru Datta.
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 दत्तावधूत स्वामी काववे
दत्तावधूता स्वामी काववे
चित्तविमोह ध्वंसमुचेयवे
चित्तविमोह ध्वंसमुचेयवे
दत्तावधूत स्वामी काववे
दत्तावधूता स्वामी काववे
चित्तविमोह ध्वंसमुचेयवे
चित्तविमोह ध्वंसमुचेयवे
आश्रितमोह क्षयकर काववे
आश्रितमोह जयकर काववे
पूर्ण शक्ति पातमुचेयवे
चूपुन शक्ति पातमुचेयवे
आश्रितमोह क्षयकर काववे
आश्रितमोह जयकर काववे
पूर्ण शक्ति पातमुचेयवे
चूपुन शक्ति पातमुचेयवे
दत्ताय नमः ओम
दत्ताय नमः
दत्ताय नमः ओम
दत्ताय नमः
दत्ताय नमः ओम
दत्ताय नमः
दत्ताय नमः ओम दत्ताय नमः ओम दत्ताय नमः ओम
दत्ताय
दत्ताय नमः ॐ दत्ताय नमः ॐ दत्तावधूत स्वामी काववे चित्तविमोह ध्वंसము చేయవే క్షయమిది కావలే కావలే కర్మలనోర్చెడి ధీరత నీయవే కర్మ క్షయమిది కావలే కావలే కర్మలనోర్చెడి ధీరత నీయవే జయ గురుదత్త శ్రీ గురుదత్త శ్రీ గురుదత్త జయ గురుదత్త ద్రాం ద్రాం దత్తాయ నమః ఓం 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 దత్తావధూత స్వామి కావవే చిత్త విమోహ ధ్వంసము చేయవే దత్తావధూత స్వామి కావవే చిత్త విమోహ ధ్వంసము చేయవే సజ్జన సంగతి కూరిచి కావవే సచ్చిదానంద స్ఫూర్తిని చూపవే సజ్జన సంగతి కూరిచి కావవే సచ్చిదానంద స్ఫూర్తిని చూపవే జయ గురుదత్త శ్రీ గురుదత్త శ్రీ గురుదత్త జయ గురుదత్త ద్రాం ద్రాం దత్తాయ నమః ఓం జై గురుదత్త శ్రీ గురుదత్త జై గురుదత్త శ్రీ గురుదత్త జై గురుదత్త శ్రీ గురుదత్త జై గురుదత్త శ్రీ గురుదత్త జై గురుదత్త శ్రీ గురుదత్త
call it a bhajan, call it a divine plea. Whatever description is ascribed to it, there is no denying that that bhajan, set to Kapi Ragam, is a bhajan which stirs the heart, filling it with love and surrender. What a truly, truly musically divine masterpiece, composed and rendered by Parama Pujya Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji.
You are tuned in to Datta Arpanam, which is coming to you on 103.1 FM through the grace of Puja Sri Swamiji and thanks to the sponsorship by Valini's Drug Mart Limited, Ramlal Educational Institute, Debe Supermart Limited, and Koke Supermart Limited. Before that bhajan, inspired by the words of Lord Vamana, you heard the words of another incarnation of Lord Sri Hari, the words of Sri Krishna, who said that lust is the greatest enemy, an inner enemy which is difficult to conquer.
But the question arose, why must lust be conquered? Well, if one has desires, one out of two things can happen. Those desires can be fulfilled, or they can remain unfulfilled. Kama or desire, when fulfilled, leads to lobha or greed. You got something, now you want more. Lobha, in turn, binds us to this cycle of birth and death.
Karma or desire, when fulfilled, can also lead to mada or pride. And when pride builds within us, we become more egocentric. We become filled with feelings of I, my, and mine, etc. This also binds us to the cycle of birth and death.
We see then that having a desire fulfilled is not necessarily a good thing. So then, what if a desire is not fulfilled? Is that any better?
Well, not really. If the desire is not fulfilled, then that karma leads to krodha or anger, another emotion which binds us. It can also lead to matsarya or jealousy, which, you guessed it, also binds us to this cycle of birth and death.
So the bottom line is be desireless as best as you can, and then continue to work on being even more desireless.
Knowledge or jnana is needed for one to reach a self-realized state or moksha. But earlier you heard the 38th shloka of chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita. That shloka was shared today because in that shloka, Sri Krishna taught Arjuna why it is that karma is such an enemy. Bhagavan explained that just as fire is covered by smoke, a mirror is covered by dust, a fetus is covered by the womb, this, says Lord Krishna, is covered by that.
And what did he mean here when he said, this is covered by that? Well, in the 39th shloka, he explains further. This refers to knowledge, to discrimination between what is right and what is not, what is self and what is not, what is real and what is not. This is covered by that. That is desire. It is karma. This is covered by that. Knowledge is covered by desire.
If desire covers knowledge, then why is this so bad? Well, think about it. When you cook fresh food and leave it in an open area until it is time to eat, do you not cover the food so that flies cannot get to it? Similarly, when desire covers knowledge, we cannot get to that knowledge. If we cannot get to that knowledge, then we can never realize the self, because we lack the ability to discriminate between self and non-self, or, as you just heard, between the real and the unreal. If the self is not realized, then we continue to be reborn.
This thing called desire is a powerful force indeed. As Sri Krishna explained in the 40th shloka of chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita, it can originate at the level of the indriyas or senses. It can originate at the level of manas or the mind. It can originate at the level of buddhi or the intellect. But wherever it originates, jnanamavritya dehinam, it covers the jnana or knowledge in that person. In other words, he or she drowns in delusion.
But you can understandably say that it is human nature for desires to pop up. So then, what do we do? Well, the ever-compassionate Sri Krishna gave us the answer to this in the 41st shloka of chapter 3, which you heard earlier. Tasmat Tomindriyarnyadau. Begin by controlling the senses.
Devotees, listeners, this morning we veered away from Srimad Bhagavatam and towards Srimad Bhagavad Gita, but the lesson being taught is the same. We cannot progress spiritually if desire is blocking our way. Control the sense organs. Develop the prasada buddhi mindset. Accept whatever comes your way as prasadam from God. Be contented with what you have and do not compare what you have with what others have.
As Lord Vamana went on to say to King Bali, only someone who is content with whatever destiny offers him will lead a happy, contented life. On the other hand, the person who lacks control over his body, mind, and senses will never experience contentment, even if he is granted rulership over all three worlds. He will never experience true happiness.
May all of mankind learn to be satisfied and contented. By Datta said Gurudeva's grace, may we all gain control over our senses, our minds, and our intellects. In yoga, we are taught to not fight our thoughts, but to observe them. Just don't necessarily entertain them. But sometimes it is not so easy to shed an unproductive or negative thought. At such moments, it helps to direct the mind to a higher altar instead of fighting that thought. And what better altar could there be than the altar known as the name of the Lord? So whenever your mind, your senses, or your intellect want to take you somewhere where you know to be detrimental to your overall well-being, know that you can find strength to overcome those negative forces by focusing on the name of Bhagavan.
And what a perfect cue to once again engage in Nama Sankirtanam. Let us join in worshipping the one who taught us just how powerful chanting the Lord's name can be. Lord Rama's arrows are the most powerful weapon, but even those powerful weapons could not penetrate the shield created around Lord Hanuman, who, with devotion, was engaged in chanting Rama Nama. Let us join in worshipping this epitome of devotion, Lord Hanuman. Please open the Bhajanmala app or website to Bhajan ID number 1062 and get your week off to an energizing start by joining Pooja Appaji in singing this powerhouse of a bhajan.
ಭೀಮ ಭಕ್ತರ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಲು ಪ್ರೇಮ ಮಾರುತಿರಾಯ ಬಲ 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 ಭೀಮ ಭಕ್ತರ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಲು ಪ್ರೇಮ ಅಂಜನ ಸುತನೆ ಆಂಜನೇಯ ಅಮಿತ ಪರಾಕ್ರಮ ಬಲರಾಯ 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 ಮಾರುತಿರಾಯ ಬಲ ಭೀಮ ಭಕ್ತರ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಲು ಪ್ರೇಮ ಮಾರುತಿರಾಯ ಬಲ ಭೀಮ ಭಕ್ತರ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಲು ಪ್ರೇಮ ಸೂರ್ಯ ಶಿಷ್ಯನೇ ಸ್ವಪ್ರಕಾಶನೆ ವಜ್ರಕಾಯನೆ ವಂದಿಪೆ ನಿನಗೆ. 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 ಮಾರುತಿರಾಯ ಬಲ ಭೀಮ ಭಕ್ತರ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಲು ಪ್ರೇಮ. ಮಾರುತಿರಾಯ ಬಲ ಭೀಮ ಭಕ್ತರ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಲು ಪ್ರೇಮ. ಭಾಗವತೋತ್ತಮ ಭಕ್ತರ ಕಾಯುವ ಭವ್ಯ ರೂಪನೇ ಬಾರೋ ಮನಕ್ಕೆ. 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 ಮಾರುತಿರಾಯ ಬಲ ಭೀಮ ಭಕ್ತರ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಲು ಪ್ರೇಮ. ಮಾರುತಿರಾಯ ಬಲ ಭೀಮ ಭಕ್ತರ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಲು ಪ್ರೇಮ. ಪವನ ಕುಮಾರನೆ ಮಹಾಯೋಗಿಯೇ ಪಾರಿಜಾತ ತರುಮೂಲ ವಾಸನೆ. 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 ಮಾರುತಿರಾಯ ಬಲ ಭೀಮ ಭಕ್ತರ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಲು ಪ್ರೇಮ. ಮಾರುತಿರಾಯ ಬಲ ಭೀಮ ಭಕ್ತರ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಲು ಪ್ರೇಮ. ನವವ್ಯಾಕರಣನೆ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮ ರೂಪನೆ ಸ್ಥೂಲ ರೂಪನೆ ನೀನೇ ಗತಿಯೋ. 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 ಮಾರುತಿರಾಯ ಬಲ ಭೀಮ ಭಕ್ತರ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಲು ಪ್ರೇಮ. ಮಾರುತಿರಾಯ ಬಲ ಭೀಮ ಭಕ್ತರ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಲು ಪ್ರೇಮ. ಲಂಕಿಣಿ ಮೋಕ್ಷಕ ವಿಭೀಷಣ ಪ್ರಿಯ ವಜ್ರಭೂಷಣ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದ. 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 ಮಾರುತಿರಾಯ ಬಲ ಭೀಮ ಭಕ್ತರ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಲು ಪ್ರೇಮ. 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 ಮಾರುತಿರಾಯ 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 ಮಾರುತಿರಾಯ.
When we glorify Lord Hanuman as we just collectively did, the energy, the positivity, and the divinity that surge within us and around us are so very palpable. So be sure to keep the evening of April 27th, 2024 free because you loved it and enjoyed it the first time. You loved it and enjoyed it even more the second time. Now, come April 27th, 2024, the epic Hanuman Chanting 3 will be taking place at the Diwali Nagar in Chaguanas.
You heard correctly, everyone. On Saturday, April 27, 2024, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., another mass Hanuman Chalisa chanting event will be taking place at the Diwali Nagar. So come along, bring your friends and family as well, and join the various pundits, kirtan groups, and other fellow chanters who will be coming together to pray for peace, safety, and protection of this land.
Keep abreast of all the activity leading up to this mass chanting event and get information updates by following Epic Chanting TNT on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube.
Also like and follow the Datta Arpanam Facebook page for regular updates.
And of course, continue to tune in to Datta Arpanam for updates on what promises to be a spectacular, energizing, and uplifting event.
For now, though, we begin to wrap up today's program.
Pranams and gratitude are offered at the divine feet of beloved Sadgurudeva, Parama Pujya Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji and Pujya Shri 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 Datta Vijayananda Tirtha Swamiji, without whose teachings, compassion, love, guidance, and music, this program would not exist.
Pranams to you, Puja Appaji and Sri Swamiji. Kindly forgive any errors which may have been committed in preparing or in sharing today's episode of Datta Arpanam, and please guide us to avoid such errors in the future.
Special thanks are extended to the staff at 103.1 FM and to the sponsors of Datta Arpanam, Valini's Drug Mart Limited, Ramlal Educational Institute, Debe Supermart Limited, and Kokie Supermart Limited. And of course, dear listener, an extra special thank you is extended to you for sharing your Sunday morning with us.
Remember, if you would like to listen to today's offering again, the podcast will be uploaded to 103.1 FM's website by tomorrow evening. Simply visit www.103fm.tt, click on Podcasts, and scroll down to Datta Arpanam. Alternatively, you can also access the link via the Datta Arpanam Facebook page.
Once again, everyone, thank you for tuning in today. You are invited to please tune in to 103.1 FM again next Sunday at 6 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time for another episode of Datta Arpanam, a showcase of the life, music, and teachings of His Holiness Parama Pujya Shri 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 Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji.
Jai Guru Datta.
Shri Guru Datta. Harihi Om Tat Sat.
Om Namo Hanumate Namaha. 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 Om Namo Hanumate Namaha.
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत्